guys, so I thought I would come out here and film a tour of the big garden to show you what we've got going on out here. I actually filmed this whole thing this morning, but the sun got so bright so quick that you couldn't really see anything. It was all blown out. So I'm going to try and hurry and get through this before the mosquitoes find me. It's just that time of year and they're going to be bad this year. Alright, so I've got my chart. I've been out here today working on getting the garden mulched. Now, not every area can be mulched yet because of seeds still coming up, but I'm mulching what I can as I can, and then I ran out of straw, so I've got to get more straw tomorrow. So I've got my little chart here, and I'm going to walk you through what we've got. Now, this long bed right here, I've got two of the really long beds. They're about 55 feet long and about 5 feet wide. And I have this one divided with cattle panels, kind of creating two beds in a way. So down here on the end, I have some of the Dr. Witchies, or Wychie, or Wykes, however you say that. If you happen to know how that is pronounced, please let me know, because I hate not knowing how something is pronounced, okay? Thanks. So I have some of the Dr. Whatchamadoolies tomatoes down here. And I planted some basil seeds down beneath there, in between, and there are a couple of them popping up, I can see. Over on the other side, I have marigolds and zinnias over on that side. Moving along, right here I have some sunflowers. These are giant Mongolian sunflowers. They get super tall, and so I planted them along the cattle panel so that they would have some support as they grew. I could tie them to it with twine for some added support. And then down here in the front, I have some smaller red sunflowers. So there'll be 2 rows of sunflowers right here. Just a little sunflower patch. Over on the other side, I have cinnamon basil started, and I can see that all germinating, all that popping up. Now over here, I planted some dragon tongue green beans, and I do see a couple of them starting to pop up. And I know, sunflowers and green beans don't exactly go together, but honestly, I don't know if these are even going to grow. I think it's too late for them. I think it's going to get too hot too quick. And I don't know. I just wanted to stick something in there. Over on the other side, I have some candy. I think it's like cotton candy cosmos or something like that. And then on that far row over there, I have purple basil, and I can see that starting to pop up too. Right here, I have 2 of the Amish paste tomato plants. They're not doing as well as some of the other ones, so I might need to give them some tomato food and see if they can start looking a little bit better. In between, I have some Genovese basil. Over on the other side, I have yellow squash, 3 mounds over there. I have not seen any of those pop up yet, but I remember last year they took a little while too, so I'll be patient. Here I have some red roselle. And then right here I planted some cosmos, just some generic cosmos. Right here I have some of the Verna sage tomatoes. These were freebies. The seeds were from Baker Creek this year when I did my orders. And some Genovese basil down there in the middle. Over on the other side I have some Persian zinnias and some blue sage. And then I have a little bit of a walkway right here. Having these really long beds, I like to have walkways, places where I can take shortcuts to get to the other side without having to go all the way around the big long bed. So moving on to the next cattle panel, this one right here, all the way down the row, is NT runner, half runner green beans. These are, NT stands for not tough, and these are of course climbing green beans, and that's what the trellis is for, the cattle panel. Over on the other side I have bell peppers, and I have some purple basil. Down here I've got some Tulsi Basil, holy basil. Now over here, I have a great big bare space. I have nothing planted there, and I gotta tell you guys, I just got done watching 2 videos from Roots and Refuge where Jess was going to nurseries. I think I need to go visit some of my local nurseries because, I mean, I've got some space. I've got to put something there, right? Down here on the end, I have some habanero peppers and some lipstick peppers. Coming down to the second bed, these are Tabasco peppers here on the end. Right here is my Tonya's pink bush beans. You can see we've got them popping up here and there. So that's exciting to see. Here I have sweet potatoes started. And you can't really tell underneath all that straw, but they are mounded the way they tell you to plant them. Now last year I planted sweet potatoes and they were doing great until the rabbits discovered them and they just devoured them. So that is why I've been putting the rabbit fencing around the bottom of the garden fence. I still have to finish over on that side, so I will be working on that this weekend. Now this patch right here, you can see I've got a cattle panel trellis connecting the 2 beds. In this space down here, I have blanket flowers and I have some marigolds down here. I've got a couple comfrey plants that I popped in the ground there, some petunias. Now right here you can't see anything coming up yet because I just put these seeds down today. This is toothache plant, straw flowers, and sweet alyssum. Here I've got a couple habaneros growing. This section right here is also some flowers. These are some flowers that I picked up at the store. They are called homestead red stonecrop. I don't really know a lot about them, but the leaves just reminded me of succulents. They're just so soft feeling and smooth. And I thought, well, we'll give them a try. They're a perennial, so hopefully they do well here in our environment. In the spot behind them, I planted some lavender and some hyssop. And then there's some beans over there that I'm going to talk about in just a second because I'm super excited about those. Right here I have some more sunflowers and you can see them popping up. Here I did a row of zinnias going across the bed, which reminds me I have a row of cosmos over there going across the bed. Now down in here I have okra planted, but I don't know what the variety is. They are seeds that were sent to me from one of my subscribers who lives here in Alabama, and it was just a variety that he grew that he really liked. And I grew a couple plants last year and they grew so well. And I saved the seeds from those plants, and as you can see, they're growing. Right here I have a couple more zinnias. These are all bell peppers right here. I have the lilac bell peppers and then some classic green California Wonder bell peppers. We eat a lot of bell peppers, and so because we eat a lot of bell peppers, it makes sense to grow quite a few of those plants. That's what those peppers were over on that first section. I can't remember if I told you what those were or not. So coming here to the trellis, on both sides I have planted Chinese red noodle beans, and I am thrilled to see them all coming up. I planted them on both sides, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing these take off. Now this bed here is a little bit shorter than the other 2. It's probably, rough guess, about 35 feet long. Here I have some oregano and a couple of petunias popped in there. Those are some lantana flowers over there. Right down here I just planted some queen lime zinnias and some star anise. This patch right here is watermelon, and I actually cannot remember what the variety was. These were some starts that I just picked up from the store, to be honest with you. I just stuck them in the ground because I had some space. This is going to be a walkway. I'm going to mulch it with some wood shavings, and I have some stepping stones to put down in there after I get the mulch down. On this trellis, I have some cucumbers started. Behind there I have radishes. Radishes and cucumbers go very well together. I talked about that in my companion planting video. On the far side over there I have a whole bunch of thyme started because we do use a lot of thyme in cooking. Now this right here is another big empty area that I'm going to need to put something in there. Okay, right here and right there are mounds for some squash seeds that were sent to me. So far I'm not seeing anything happening, but I hope they do. They're called candy roaster squash, and they're supposed to be really good for making pies. Alright, so moving down here to the big wide bed, this is our corn bed, and I have alternating rows of corn and sunflowers, because corn and sunflowers are excellent companion planting partners. And you can see we have corn and we have sunflowers. Over in the middle here I have my butternut squash that I have planted, which is also coming up. This side is also corn and sunflowers. I didn't alternate the rows on this end. I planted just corn in the bed, but then the last 2 feet here or so are sunflowers, which are all popping up. And then this little bed down here is just for zucchini, and I've got zucchini coming up too. Then for the raised beds, you can see I've got some of my tomato plants started, Dr. Witchies, and some blue beauties. I've got the sage down here. The zinnia seeds that I planted are all popping up. The Tulsi Basil is kind of doing its thing. I really didn't give this any care like I should have. If I wanted this thick and bushy, I should have pinched off all of these little baby flowers as soon as they started growing. I didn't get to it. I have more Genovese basil down there with the tomatoes. And then this is my hot pepper bed, my mostly hot pepper bed. Cubanellas, which we've got baby peppers started. Those are the Tabasco peppers. I know I have a lot of Tabasco pepper plants. We're gonna have Tabasco peppers for days. The Cayenne Peppers, these are those puny little ones that I was not sure if they were going to grow. This one's still a little iffy, but that one seems to be doing something. These are the peach habaneros over here. These are my jalapenos. These 3 are lipstick peppers, and then we have the Chinese 5-color peppers. These are super hot. The peppers are colorful, and apparently so are the plants, the leaves. Look at the color on that. Look at the purple. Isn't that pretty? And then down here on the far end, this is a big bed of sunflowers. I've planted lots of sunflowers, lots of zinnias, lots of cosmos. Those are just some of my favorite flowers, and I didn't plant hardly anything last year because of that whole fiasco, and so I'm making up for it this year. You notice I have a lot of flowers interspersed with the veggies and all of that this year. I'm doing that for 2 reasons. Number one, I had the space to do it. Like I said in a previous video, we didn't do all the corn that we did last year, and so it gave us way more space, and so I had the room to do it. And I guess there's actually 3 reasons. The fact that we had the space. Number 2, it's great for drawing in the pollinators to get them to come and visit your garden, but then also it's beautiful. I really want the garden to be not only productive, but I want it to be beautiful too. And so by adding the flowers and just little touches here and there, I think, I'm hoping, God willing, that it's just going to be a good, wonderful garden this year. You know, there's other little touches, like I've painted my T-posts. Some of them are robin's egg blue, some of them are a sage green. I've got flower baskets hanging from my trellises. I got a little wind chime, some simple little walkway lights from the Dollar Tree. So after last year was such a wash, I'm really looking forward to a better year. And like I said, God willing, it'll be a good one.